Hello. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me, my beautiful people, my beautiful hospice family? I am in my car. Yes, she is in her car. Okay. She is in the car coming at you. Okay. I pray. Yes, Angie. Yes, somebody's here with me. I'm so happy. I was hoping somebody could be with me. Can you hear me, my friend? Is my sound good? I'm in my car. Hey, Angie, my friend. Can you hear me? Let me know. Okay. I'm so happy to see a familiar name. You're my first one. Please be sure to give me a like, okay? Give me a like. All right. How you doing this afternoon, Angie? How's life? How's everything? Yes, my beautiful people. I pray that the sound is good, because the sound usually gives me problems. Okay. My eyelash been getting in my eye for the past hour. Hope everything is good. Yes, my beautiful hospice family, come on in, guys. We are going to have a discussion. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are today. My name is Nurse Dawn, okay? Oh, excuse me. My name is Nurse Dawn, and I'm so thankful, so happy that you are here with me today, okay? And I am waiting on YouTube to gather more of us in, you know. I'm waiting for YouTube to get more of us in here so we could talk. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, guys. Please be sure to say hi as you come in. Welcome, welcome. My name is Nurse Dawn. My name is Nurse Dawn. I am your RN. I'm a hospice registered nurse. Come on in, guys. I'm doing good, Callow. Nice to meet you, my friend. Mwah. Be sure, guys, as you come in, be sure to give me a like, okay? Like and subscribe, all right? Help me to grow this hospice channel, okay, guys? Help me to grow this channel. What's going on, Callow? How's your summer day? Are you in the US, my friend? Where are you from? Huh? Ah! Raj, it's funny. You guys are so nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, Saj. Nice. I'm so thankful because I'm seeing familiar names, I'm recognizing your names. Mwah. Thank you so much for being here, guys. We are going to have a discussion about self-blaming, how we tend to blame ourselves. Okay, when somebody is sick, like say you are the patient, or you're the caregiver, there's always blaming going on. Okay, guys, for those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Nurse Dawn. I am a real live hospice registered nurse. Okay, I'm a end of life registered nurse. Okay, I take care of people at the end of life. I take care of people when they are dying. Okay, that's what I do. That is my compassion, that's my career. And I have this channel now. God helped me to build this channel so that I can empower us, so that I can empower us. I can, help us to understand more about the end of life process and what to do. Rage, if you're having breathing problems, my friend, please call 911, okay? Call 911. Hello, Tona. I'm in the USA, my friend. Reg, you're You're so funny. We always have a funny one in the group, and I love it. And he's my funny child, my funny support. But yes, okay. So myself as a registered nurse and taking care of people at end of life, taking care of people, at the most vulnerable part of their lives. So first of all, I have some patients, okay, they will blame themselves. They'll say, oh, if only I had listened to my doctor, or if only I did not, smoke. Like for example, I have this one patient, he has lung cancer, he has lung cancer, and he used to be a smoker. And so he would, like, tell these stories. Like he would say, oh, I wish I did not smoke. If only I had listened and not smoke, then maybe now I would not be dying with lung cancer. And that really, breaks my heart. Like that really makes me feel sad. And I have to encourage him. And let's just call him Mr. Smith, okay? Because everybody, all of my patients here are Mr. Smith or Mrs. Smith, okay? Because I have to keep everything confidential. Thank you, Carlo. I appreciate you, my friend. You guys, please be sure to subscribe, okay? Help me to grow this channel, okay? And give me a like, okay, guys? Hello from India. I'm in the USA. I'm in the USA. But yeah, and so I have to tell him, I have to remind him. I say, Mr. Smith, please, it's not going to do you any good to blame yourself, Like, how is blaming yourself going to help you to breathe better, huh? Because we have to focus in the now. And you cannot say that the reason why you have lung cancer is because you've been a smoker for 20, 30 years. No, because I have patients too. I have patients with lung cancer who never put a cigarette in their mouth. Do you know what I'm saying, my beautiful hospice family? So you cannot blame yourself. So I have to remind my patient with lung cancer who is blaming himself, who is trying to shame himself, saying, oh, I bought this onto myself. I made myself sick. I am the reason why I'm dying. And I have to say, Mr. Smith, please, do you know that there are people out there who never smoked a day in their life and they still have lung cancer, And not only that, it's not going to help you to breathe any easier if you are blaming yourself, if you're getting anxious and agitated, you see? Because as you and I know, when we are agitated, when we are anxious, when we have anxiety, it's difficult to breathe, right? And so I have to remind Mr. Smith, my patient with lung cancer, I have to remind him, please focus in now. Focus on what we can do now, okay? We have to be comfortable. I have to make you comfortable. And you need to please help me to help you, And so I am saying this just to encourage you, my beautiful hospice family. If you are a patient, okay, and you find yourself with an illness, if you find yourself with any kind of illness, it doesn't matter what it is, okay? If you find yourself with a terminal illness, please do not blame yourself, okay? No matter what people say or want to say, okay, it is not your fault. My grandmother, because I was born in Haiti, okay? I am Haitian. I was born in Haiti, okay? My grandmother always said to me that illnesses do not fall on trees. Illnesses fall on people, So it's time for us to stop shaming people with illnesses, Like people with diabetes, for example. I'm not sure if you're watching right now. Thank you, Kylob. Thank you, my friend. I'm not sure if you're watching right now, if you are a diabetic, But don't say to yourself, oh, it's because I had too many sugars. I had too many sweets. That's why I'm dying. That's why I have diabetes now. That's why I have to take the insulins and for life and all these things. No, Because I know people who eat sugar every single day. Okay, like I have this old lady, okay? She's so cute. Once again, we're gonna call her Mrs. Smith, okay? Mrs. Smith, she's in her 90s, okay? She's in her 90s, okay? She has dementia, all right? That's why she's under hospice, because of dementia. But Mrs. Smith, if you want her to cooperate, give her a candy bar, okay? Like I literally, like, sometimes have to stop by the store to get a candy bar for Mrs. Smith, because that's the only way she will cooperate and help you to, bathe her and clean her up or even eat. And her family tells me that Mrs. Smith loved cake. She always eating cake when she was younger, always eating ice cream, you know, always eating candy. And Mrs. Smith is not a diabetic. She's 90 years old, loves sweets, and she's not a diabetic. But yet we have people in their 30s who also love sweets and they're diabetics. So you see what I mean, my beautiful people? We cannot blame ourselves, okay? Stop shaming yourself if you have an illness, okay? And if you hear somebody shaming somebody because of an illness, tell them to cut it out, okay? Tell them to stop. It's not right. Because we cannot predict, and nobody really know for a fact, how come two people with the same lifestyle, one of them have the illness and one of them doesn't? Do you understand, my beautiful people, my beautiful hospice family? Please, guys, give me a like, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, okay? Write me a comment. Do you know somebody with a terminal illness who's currently saying, it's my fault, it's my fault? Just like I had mentioned, my patient with the lung cancer, who's a smoker, he's always blaming himself. And I always have to remind him, Mr. Smith, your oxygen level is dropping. Can we please switch to another topic? And not only that, not only do I find that the patient blame themselves, but guess who also blame themselves? The caregivers. Yes, the caregivers, okay? You and I, as a caregiver, we are notorious at also blaming ourselves for the illness, like for example, I have this I have this daughter, okay, and she have said to me, if only I was there more for my husband, if only, I had made better meals, if only I had, convinced him and make him go to the doctors, my husband would not have prostate cancer right now. Okay? So she's literally, guys, putting all of that on her. Like, she has had numerous conversations with me saying, Nurse Dawn, I should have reminded him to go get his prostate check. I should have, gone in the doctor's office with him and make sure that he was getting it checked, So her husband right now is dying of prostate cancer. Like, who among you watching me right now knows somebody with prostate cancer, huh? Let me know, guys. So her husband has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Her husband is dying from prostate cancer. And here she is blaming herself, saying to me, confessing her emotions, she says she hasn't said that to her husband yet. And And, but she's confessing to me because, as a nurse, I'm also a therapist. I listen. People tell me their deepest, thoughts, especially at end of life. So she's telling me, nurse, Dawn, I wish I had forced or literally, go in the doctor's appointments with my husband and made sure that he checked his prostate. It's because I was too busy working. It's because I was too busy with life. And I, did not do my wifely duties enough. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, please don't say that. That really broke my heart. Right, Caleb? Isn't that sad, my friend? You see? And so at end of life, you will meet all sorts of people on both directions. The patient is blaming themselves for the illness. The family, the caregiver, they're blaming themselves for the illness. And what we need to do, we need to focus. We all need to just, focus on what really matters, which is the problem at hand. And the problem is, which is not really a problem because I want us to switch it around. We need to focus on creating new, better, positive experiences. Yes, in the present. Okay? And I tell, Mrs. Smith, I tell her, ma'am, please try to enjoy your husband right now. Enjoy the moment you have with him. Go to the beach. Go sit by a lake. Like, make new memories. Tell him how much you love him. Tell him how much of a great husband he was, of a great father, that he is. Cook him his favorite meal while he's still able to eat and swallow. You see? So rather than you beating yourself up for something you cannot change, blaming yourself for your husband having prostate cancer is literally useless because you cannot change it. If anything, you're putting more stress onto yourself, and you need to preserve your energy right now. You need to preserve your mental, your mind, so that you can take care of this man. Because every single month, he's getting weaker and weaker, and he needs you. Yes, Lily. Hi, Lily. Thank you for being here. It is hard being a hospice nurse. Are you in the medical field too, Lily? It's hard being a hospice nurse. I'm not, like, I have to be honest with you guys. It is difficult, but at the same time, it's so rewarding because I am naturally a speaker. I'm naturally a motivator, and I naturally have like a positive spirit about myself. So I get to shine a piece of light, a piece of life into my patients and their family at the end. Because I wrote the book, my book that I wrote, the title is End of Life is Life. And I emphasize on the word is, and I capitalize the word is because it is life. And I get to, share a new perspective with my caregivers, with my hospice patients when it comes to dying, And then for the most part, at the end of it, even when the patient has died, their caregiver, the wife, the husband, the mom, dads, some of them are still in touch with me, and they would call me and say, thank you for helping me to see the world a different way, for helping me to see the light out of a dark situation. And that to me is very rewarding, you know, because it's not like some mediocre career where, like, you know, somebody's like dancing on their head, you know, like this is like real life, emotional, human being, you and I situations, you know, and I love it. And you know, at first I was really afraid, guys. Okay, I have to say it. At first I was really scared, you know, of like seeing a corpse, like seeing somebody dead, you know. But God has put in this strength in me, you know, because when somebody passed, as a registered nurse, I have to go and be the first one there to pronounce them dead. You know, like while the person's laying down, I have to check their vital signs, you know, listen to their heart for a minute. This, like, you know, feel their pulse. I put my you know, stethoscope near their nose to see like if there's any kind of sign of life. And like I used to be so afraid, you know, but now it's like I welcome it, you know. I welcome it. So yes, my beautiful people, okay, I want to come out here, okay, and just encourage us. Thank you, Ali. Yes, I will keep it up. Thank you, my friend. I wanted to come out here and encourage anybody who's listening to the sound of my voice. If you now or in the future ever were to find yourself with an illness, okay, I want you to know that do not blame yourself, okay? Illnesses do not fall on trees. They fall on human beings. Like my Haitian grandma used to always tell me, okay? Don't blame yourself, please. No shaming. And if you see somebody sick, do not shame them, okay? Thank you, Carlo. Please be sure to subscribe, okay, and hit that notification bell. Come back, okay? Please come back and talk to me again when I'm live, because I love the company. Like, when you guys comment, it really encourages me, you know? It encourages me to think of more stories to share and to also stay on here longer. Enjoy your day, my friend. Mwah. Enjoy your day, okay? But yes, my beautiful people, okay, let us stop shaming people with illnesses, you know, because the worst has already happened. We cannot kick somebody when they're on the ground. You know what I mean? Imagine somebody fall down and that's when you try to kick them. That's being a coward. That's you being low. It's a reflection of yourself, okay? So I am encouraging us, all right? Whatever battle you are battling right now, whatever illness you have right now, whatever you are going through right now, my beautiful hospice family, the battle is not yours. You did not create it, okay? And I want you to focus on the positivity. Focus on turning it into a new normal. When life gives us eggs, we are going to make an omelet. Let me repeat. When life gives you and I eggs, we are going to make an omelet. Hi, Casty. Hello, my friend. Thank you for being here. I love seeing a familiar names. You guys are awesome. Okay. How you guys doing this evening, tonight? This wonderful day that God created. Hmm? Let me know, my beautiful people. Do you know, like, what do you know about hospice? Huh? Have you had a grandmother, a grandfather who has passed? Have you witnessed anybody taking their last breath? Hmm? What questions do you have for me about hospice? About the death and dying? You know? Do you have a neighbor? Have you had a neighbor who was dying? Yes, Angie. Yes. Hi. Yes, we have chatted before, my friend. Thank you for being here again. You know, have you had a family member of yours whom you love dearly and now they've gone up to the heavens, huh? How did your family manage their final, days, hours, weeks with them? Hmm? Do you have any regrets? Do you wish you had done something differently or not? How do you yourself, that one's gonna be a tough question. How do you, my husband's family, how do you envision your life when you're dying at the end of life, huh? What would you like to see happening? Hmm? These are all questions that we are going to be facing one day. Okay? And my goal in this channel is to pour love, understanding, knowledge, to encourage, show compassion to such a scary topic. Because when people hear the word hospice, they're like, oh my God, oh no, they're gonna die. Da, 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 da. No, that doesn't mean they're gonna die today or tomorrow. No one knows. We've actually had few people who actually graduated from hospice. But I want to put a heartbeat. Yes, I want to put a heartbeat into hospice care. you know like, I intentionally focus on the caregivers. I intentionally focus on giving the caregivers tools and teachings and knowledge about hospice. That's what my channel is about. That's what this channel is about. If you are a caregiver, taking care of somebody at end of life, taking care of somebody who's dying, I want to give you these tools. I want to empower you with the knowledge, with encouragement, so that you don't feel like you are alone. Okay, you are not alone. There are thousands and thousands of people out there, if not millions. Actually, I should say millions, because there's like 9 billion people in the world, right? Yeah, I think there's 9 billion people in the world. So there are millions of people in the world right now who are either sick or taking care of somebody with a terminal illness. Okay? And so you're not alone. And I don't want you to ever feel like you are by yourself or ever feel shameful, you know, because a terminal illness is not you. You are not your illness. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is your illness and this is you. We have to try to separate, you know? We have to separate who we are from the illness, because you are an individual. You have a soul, you have a spirit, you have a voice, you have a heartbeat. You could still create new memories. You could still find joy, okay? I have this patient who's bedbound, okay? He's bedbound, you know? And every, I want to say, is it every Wednesday and Friday? Like two days out of the week, his buddies, his friends will come and play cards, you know? They will bring cards to his house